Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Build Your Business. On today's episode at Implement Club, we're going to be talking about developing your values. And what's happened is I have to have some movers coming in, so I'm going to record this for you, and then I'll send you the workbook by email on the list with the recording so you can develop your values. So, today we're going to be talking about developing your values, which is one of the principles for growing your business. And so, let's get started because the movers are coming. So, on today's Build Your Business, we're going to be talking about developing your values. Now, this is going to be a training for free for the whole year. And while we're doing the training, you implement and you grow, as I will. So, let's go and talk about what the 15 principles are for building your business. So, today we're going to be talking about developing your core values, principles. Then it's going to be mindset, and then brand, and then position yourself as an educator, doing a weekly workshop and building a product snowball, developing a strategic marketing framework, and creating a content factory, and building a massive network, becoming a media mogul, and then get into production mode and build a learning center and create an online community, raise and build an affiliate army, and put systems in place. Now, let's just go over what I did last week quickly. Last week, I talked about quantifying your goals so that will help you grow during the year, because without goals and figures, and we did some math, we won't figure out how we're progressing. So for me, I think I posted I'd like to have $200,000. I'd like to have 1,000 subscribers on my email list. I'd like to have 12 products that are available for me to sell and offer, and that's pretty easy. That's one a month. And then, of course, sales. So in order to have the sales for 100,000, since we're starting from scratch, then of course it would be about 8,000 probably by December, dollars in sales. But anyway, let's just talk about what we're going to talk about today. So we're talking today about developing your core values. Today's training, I'll give you the workbook by email to make notes of some of your core values as well. There'll be a simple free training with a link for you to sign up to go use that while you're developing your core values and seeing whether or not they're similar to mine. So we looked at, of course, what my goals were last week, and the video is up at jgtips.com/BYB, and as well as the other training. Every business needs to identify its core values. Recognize the importance of core values with real-life examples that show why defining them is critical. So that's what we'll be doing today. And list the key elements in creating strong core values and be able to identify the core values of successful businesses. So identify your own personal core values to help you guide you in choosing your business core values. So you identify your own business core values and communicate them to everyone associated with your business. And use strategies to help you implement your core values to make sure your business stays on track. So for the other 4 sessions of developing your core values, of course, we'll be looking at strategies, and we'll make you a plan, and we'll develop your mission statement and that kind of thing with your core values. So that's the kind of, we'll go more in depth is what I'm trying to say on the simpler version. And then of course we're going to recognize everything and list the key elements. And it looks like I forgot to delete this slide. So imperfection, everyone. So what are core values? So core values are at the center of everything a business does. They reflect the purpose, vision, and culture, and in constants that underlie every decision a business makes. Core values don't change despite trends and economic changes. So they're not dependent on an industry, a company, a type, or a product. So examples would include trust, being able to trust the company to do what they are accountable for. They can have a commitment to quality, or they can have a commitment to innovation, or a commitment to building community. For me, I have a commitment for authenticity, visibility, and consistency. So that's why I'm doing this today fairly quickly, because I need to get it done. So my apologies if it's not in-depth enough, but it's a start for talking about developing your core values. So what are some real-life examples of core values? Well, Johnson & Johnson's #1 core value is responsibility to its customers. On all ads, maybe even on the product, they have a mission statement or a tagline or something that's relevant to responsibility. Volvo is an automaker that has historically valued safety above all else, and that is their core value. Southwestern Airlines' core value is customer service, and I'll make no comment on that. So every company develops and should have core values that is obvious for their customers or clients to know about. So why should you have core values? Well, clearly defined core values makes decision making easier for your clients because they understand who you are and they trust what you do because they know what your values are. Clear values also attract the right employees, customers, and business partners. And you can create a corporate culture that each member embodies to make it the values clear to themselves as employees as well as your clients and customers. So every company should have core values, and they should be visible to anyone who comes to the business. So decisions going against core values can cause great harm. Let's see, who shall we talk about first? There seems to be a lot of non-accountability for a lot of companies. Who should we talk about first? I don't know. So for example, if a company has made an error and they don't recognize the error, apologize for the error, and to the public, and recognize the error, it can become a problem. I'll have lots of examples next time, but I'm thinking of the OxyContin company who sold pills which made people addicted to those pills and caused great harm and even death. Well, it took a lawsuit and a lot of public annoyance and publicity just for them to even recognize that there's an issue. So core values are important in branding and communication. So if you have a unity about your core values, then you make them public, then people have a belief in you, and you adhere to your core values, then these become things, policies that people can trust. So consider developing core values that are public to anyone that comes to your website, on any of your webinars, or in any of your products. These are policies that are core values that should always be available to anyone to read. So The action steps for in the workbook that I'll be sending you by email is, do you currently have any core values in your business? If so, what are they? List them. What do your core values look like in action? For example, my core value of consistency. I'm trying to be consistent, even though I have a challenge today of doing this at 8 o'clock, so I'm doing it a little earlier and giving you a recording. But I've got to keep visible and consistent. And then make a note of your core values in your notebook. So that's all for today. Next time we'll be talking about your entrepreneurial mindset. Now that in itself could be at least 20 episodes. In fact, I did a training on it. I need to make it free available for you guys to use about knowing what the entrepreneurial mindset is. And then we'll be talking about brand, and then going on to positioning yourself as an educator. And I know a lot of you have not got to that point of thinking of being an educator, so that will be quite an extensive training. So if you want to join for free trainings, you can join us at Build Your Business Framework at implement.club. Also, I've got a quick link for it here, jgtips.com/BYB free. And next week it'll be developing your brand. Well, it won't be, it'll be mindset actually. So there we go, we screwed up again. So we have a Facebook group. This will be posted in a Facebook group, hopefully live in about 5 minutes, hopefully, at Implement Club. Just join, free. It's private, so you can talk about anything that you want to, and ask me anything, and ask for any trainings that you might need in order to implement. So I better stop this recording now and say we'll talk about mindset next week, not brand. So got to look at my own list. And yeah, I'll send you the workbook and hopefully a free trainings on your core values and how important they are to making your business shine for your customers and your business partners.